Let's review Grand Theft Auto 4, which was created by Rockstar in 2008. I will be reviewing the PlayStation 3 version. The Grand Theft Auto series is one of the biggest contributors to the evolution of video games, thanks to its technical innovations in graphics, open world technology, and city simulation. Being able to explore an entire city while doing almost anything you want brings a new level of freedom with each entry. If I had reviewed this game back in 2008 without expectation, I would have almost given it nothing but praise. However, this game is showing its age on the PlayStation 3 in 2025. Make no mistake, this game is still plenty of fun. It still blows my mind today how much content and how many features Rockstar managed to fit in a single game. At the core of the gameplay are the cars and the city simulation. This is why it's called Grand Theft Auto instead of Grand Walking Adventure. It's all about the cars. You have plenty of variety of cars from old and new, slow and fast, small and large, as well as trucks, vans, and motorcycles. The car damage model is very impressive. The damage is localized to the area you bumped it. The bumpers and hoods can come loose and wave around realistically with physics. The headlights and rear lights can become broken where you smash them. Cars are no fun without a great place to drive them. Meet Liberty City, a living and breathing city based on New York City with amazing buildings, a complete road network, an impressive amount of pedestrians, and of course, cops. Each area of the city is distinct. You don't have to be in a car all the time. You can run, vault, swim, and shimmy your way around town. You can even take the transit. You can visit shops, watch shows, go bowling, play pool, go to a restaurant, internet cafe, or a strip club. All in all, it's an impressive amount of things you can do. What's even more impressive is that this is an open world game. There are no loading zones between sections of the city or when going indoors. It's all seamless. Let's talk about the first weakness of the game, which is combat. It feels stiff. The targeting system requires you to hold L2, but it doesn't feel as responsive, nor do I feel like I'm in total control of who I select. Punching, kicking, moving, and dodging are slow with clunky animations. This is one of the problems when making a game that does everything. You become a jack of all trades and a master at none. Grand Theft Auto 4 does its best to polish each experience, but each experience falls below when compared against a game dedicated to that experience. The cars are not as detailed as Gran Turismo. The character models are not as detailed as Final Fantasy XIII. The shooting is not as fluid as Call of Duty. However, Grand Theft Auto deserves praise for its sheer quantity and integration, leading up to an experience that is quite unlike any other. The main character is called Nico, and he is an insurance company's worst nightmare. The game is broken into story and side missions, where you show up at an icon on the map to start the mission, and then the mission usually involves a combination of driving to a location, escaping the police, chasing a target, or assassination. It's all fun thanks to the amazing driving simulation that is at the core of this game. Over the course of the game, you get to meet numerous characters, some of which are cool and some are crazy. Many of these characters have quest chains that can be done to advance the story, get money, or build a friendship, which can unlock perks like summoning cars and weapons. One thing that bothers me about the game is that you can get random calls from your contacts asking to hang out, and if you don't accept, you will lose friendship. If you decide to hang out, you don't get any monetary rewards, but you will increase friendship, as well as potentially unlock a new spot like a restaurant or bowling alley. Of course you can decline, but then you will be undoing all the times you spent building friendship. If you do something really bad in front of the cops, you will gain heat, at which the cops will identify you as a target. There will be a general zone of search, and you have to escape the zone of search. If you manage to escape the zone, there is a small window where cops will still try to intercept you, and if they spot you, a new zone of search appears and the process repeats. If you continue to do bad things while in heat, like driving over pedestrians or shooting at cops, the heat level will increase, and the cops will become more dangerous with bigger vehicles. The graphics for this game are acceptable, considering the scope. Shockingly, the game doesn't even have a 720p resolution on the PlayStation 3, but rather an internal 640p. It applies very heavy anti-aliasing that tries to smudge out the blockiness. The frame rate is playable, but it isn't great. Normally, I would not be happy with these graphics, but I understand that the game is trying to juggle a million things at once, and there are very few loading screens, so I know the game is working hard. It's like a single employee that's handling the workload of 6 different positions at once, and somehow managing to do a decent job at each role. You're not going to yell at the employee to hurry up, because otherwise you would be an unreasonable overlord. Even though the entire city is explorable, most buildings cannot be entered. Buildings that cannot be entered usually have their entrances obscured in shadow, in hoping that you won't pay mind to it, or have very flat textures over them. There are 12 restaurants, fast food, and cafes in the city. That's a lot for a game, but very small number for a real city. I don't mind not being able to enter every building because that is unreasonable, but I was disappointed that you cannot buy property. Of course, with a game this big, there are bound to be bugs. Sometimes the games get stuck on minigames or actions, such as when playing pool or buying food. The controls stop responding and sometimes I have to pause the game, then cycle through the menu before the controls are back. A review is not complete without talking about the vast amount of radio stations, music, and talk shows in this game. The hosts and advertisements on the radio are very funny. Personally, I like the JNR Jazz radio station, but there are plenty of channels for you to explore. Overall, this game has many flaws, but if you look at the bigger picture, it's a masterpiece in more than one way, and the experience is one of a kind. Dadozy Gaming gives this game an 8.5 out of 10. If you like this game, I recommend Sleeping Dogs, which is heavily inspired by Grand Theft Auto 4, but with better combat. If I had reviewed Grand Theft Auto 4 in 2008, I would have definitely given it a 9 or higher, but hindsight is 2020. Thanks for watching and happy gaming.